Welcome to NOBUL's third racing series, Week 5, where the drivers took on the Itali GTO, an incredibly quick sports car, the top of its class, very fast ride, but also quite bumpy. Getting into track 1, riding along with the driver goes by the name Friendly. We're going to be seeing some very awesome moves by Friendly throughout this race, squeezing by many of the accidents as you saw. Kind of an odd apex prop for that chicane. Many drivers hit it, ended up spinning out. A little bit of contact there between Sunday Chomp and Alpha, which does bump Friendly back a little bit. Alpha disappeared in the back right. Now Friendly's going to have to make his way around both Chomp and Sunday. You can see Lo-Fi, a few cars up ahead. Well, later on lap 5, Friendly does manage to catch up to Alpha again. 5th place, both of them getting around Lo-Fi, who once again made that mistake on that little chicane area. The prop just kind of snags you. Friendly pulling up right alongside Alpha as both of them battle through the next few turns. Alpha does manage to stay out in front, but later on in the same lap, both of them coming around one of the last turns and suddenly right into the side of Joe. Lo-Fi also getting tangled up a little bit. But despite that incident, Friendly is going to keep the pressure on Joe. Going into lap 6, you see Joe slow down, exiting the turn, and Friendly is able to make the pass, scooting on up into 3rd place. On to track 2, a battle brewing between Alpha and Samir. Both of them staying right alongside each other throughout many of these turns. Obviously Alpha taking the lead here. It does get a little tricky because the rear end does love to skate out from underneath you on some of these turns. A little bit of oversteer and also the bumps not helping. Alpha sliding out and wiping out through the turn, giving Samir the lead. Alpha dropping back into 2nd place, but quickly catching back up to Samir. A good battle through the uphill section of this course, both drivers side by side as they approach the same section of the track on the final lap. Samir is going to start pushing himself as he loses 1st place to Alpha, and he's going to dive bomb straight through that same turn, wiping Alpha out, waiting for Alpha to take his position back like a good sport does. Both drivers manage to hang on through this final lap. They approach the final section, and it appears, obviously, that Alpha is going to be taking 1st place on track 2. A good fight from both drivers. On track 3, we saw a lot of action. Joe, one of those drivers that really loves to push himself. We can see Friendly pinballing off the side of the rail, losing 2 positions, but this is not the end of it. Between Samir, Joe, and Chomp and Friendly, we're going to be seeing a lot of back and forth as Joe takes the inside, trying to get around Chomp, but can't make it happen. Friendly with a lot of speed coming right up on both drivers. Chomp into the wall, over the top of Friendly, and Chomp falling back behind Samir and Friendly with Joe alongside. This group is staying very close together. Here's a little bit of I'm not sure if that was demon drag or if Joe was just trying to get a wider entrance on that turn, but up ahead, a few drivers hitting the telephone poles, including Chomp. He manages to wipe out another driver just behind. You saw a big crowd of other drivers. We saw Mugo on the right-hand side there briefly as we hop on board Friendly's cam. Of course, Friendly's still battling Joe, but Friendly is going to get it done right here with a bit of a speed boost, just flying straight past Joe. Once again, we've only made it halfway through the race, and you saw so much action already. It seems like the worst of it is over, and both drivers can continue racing on. On track 4, we're seeing Joe and Chomp here. Joe flying straight by as we hop on board Chomp's cam. As we've seen previously, Joe is one of the more aggressive drivers in NOBUL, and he's going to do everything he can to work that defensive movement. You'll see that here, right on the hairpin, a little bit of an early turn, trying to grab that inside. These bumps in the road are going to help Chomp get alongside Joe, and even though he's not on the inside of the first left of the chicane, he manages to get right in front of Joe. These two battle it out. He does gain the position on Chomp and actually manages to create quite a bit of a gap, but that's about to end. A little bit too early on this right-hand turn into the apex. crashes right into it, slows Chomp down there, Chomp taking 7th place now as both drivers approach the final turn of track 4. But how about one more slider for the road there, Chomp into the final wall and across the finish line with Joe following behind. Track 5, a little bit more of an interesting track here. Outside the city, using some of the hill roads. This is the old version of Valley of Tranquility. Unfortunately, it no longer exists, which is a huge shame, but at least we'll always have it in week 5. Villar out wide into the wall, slowing down a hell of a lot. Both Chomp and Samno managed to get by with barely any scrapes, and this is gonna go on for only a little bit. Up ahead, we're gonna see something interesting. Chomp and Samno quickly approaching the uphill section where they find a wild Sunday. Sunday now re-entering the track and ending up between both Chomp and Samno. A 7th, 8th, and 9th place battle. But on lap 3, we can see if you look in the left-hand corner at the bottom there, Chomp is almost nowhere to be seen, and Sunday makes a big mistake, smacking the inside of the apex, spinning out of control and allowing Samno to take up that 8th place position, once again as they re-enter the uphill section of the track. This, of course, allows Chomp enough room to comfortably take that 7th place position. I'm just kidding. A big smack into the wall, flipping upside down, and narrowly avoiding ending up in the river down below. Fortunately for one other driver, we're talking about Samno, this allows him enough time to catch up, but will it be enough as both drivers enter the final few turns of the race? Unfortunately, he isn't going to quite make it. Chomp will be taking that 7th place position as they finish the race with Samno in 8th. It was an incredibly exciting series of races for the GTO drivers. Alpha taking up 1st place, Friendly in 2nd, and Samir in 3rd. And interestingly enough, 5th place was tied between both Joe and Lo-Fi. As for the final series points, you can see Mugo and Friendly taking up 1st and 2nd, with Samir and Alpha tying exactly in 3rd place. A very interesting finish. Hope you've enjoyed the highlights of NOBUL Racing Series 3, Week 5.